the Hubble Space Telescope has confirmed that a new speaking season has begun on Saturn. These are the times when the Saturn year gathers around the equinoxes, when mysterious radial blot markings appear in the planet's rings like spokes of a wheel. It is not known exactly what caused the fences, but their reappearance, combined with the Hubble Planetary Observing Program, will provide opportunities to study them in greater detail. Scientists hope to decipher not just what the gratings are, but why they only appear seasonally, disappearing and reappearing at certain times in Saturn's year. Thanks to Hubble's OPAL program, which builds an archive of data on outer solar system planets, we'll be taking longer than ever to study the speakers of Saturn this season, says NASA planetary scientist Amy Simon. We first discovered Saturn's gratings in images taken from the two Voyager probes that passed Saturn in 1980 and 1981, respectively. Temporary lines and spots, often appearing as radial features, that move with the rings as they orbit Saturn. More observation and analysis revealed more oddities. While strands often appear dark from above, they often appear bright when viewed from below, and are not always there. Typically, the spokes appear only in Saturn's spring and autumn for the equinox-centered 8-year period and disappear during the summer and winter for the solstice-centered period. Saturn is very different from Earth in many ways, but in one way the two planets are alike. Both have a significant axial tilt with respect to their orbital planes. For Earth, this tilt is 23.45 degrees and for Saturn 26.73 degrees. This tilt is what gives Earth the seasons. As our planet orbits the Sun, the northern and southern hemispheres receive more or less sunlight, depending on whether they are tilted towards or away from the Sun. The point where the slope is deepest is the solstice, which occurs in summer and winter. The time when the slope with respect to the Sun is lowest, occurring in spring and autumn, is known as the equinox. Saturn has this too, but it also has rings, and they are also tilted. Saturn's rings are tilted towards the Sun at solstices, and at equinoxes the rings are almost next to each other. Because Saturn is much farther from the Sun, its year is also longer. It takes 29 years for Saturn to orbit the Sun, and each season is about 7 years. Decades of observations show that fingers begin to emerge, typically around the equinox, about 4 years ago. The next equinox on Saturn will occur in 2025, so the start of the speaking season is predicted to be in 2021. Despite years of excellent observations by the Cassini mission, the exact start and duration of the speaking season is still more unpredictable than predicting the first storm in hurricane season, Simon explains. Hubble is running an observing campaign for outer solar system planets, the legacy of exoplanet atmospheres program, so Simon and his team used this data to look for fingertips in the 2021 and 2022 Hubble observations. According to the schedule, the speakers appeared in 2021. The team then watched the speakers for an 11-hour period in data from September 2022. Speech season is well and truly ongoing. As for what causes them, scientists have some ideas. Data from several missions, including Voyager, show that the gratings themselves are made up of dust particles from the rings that separate from the icy fragments in the rings and come from the individual rings that are levitated. And it could be Saturn's magnetic field that caused them to do so. As the solar wind interacts with Saturn's magnetic field, it creates an electrically charged environment, somewhat like a giant Van de Graaff generator. This could affect the charged dust particles in Saturn's rings, causing them to electrostatically stick together and temporarily create denser dust patches in the rings. However, it is not entirely clear whether this really happens or why it is a seasonal phenomenon. Over the next few years, Hubble data could help scientists unravel the mystery. The Hubble OPAL program will continue its annual Saturn observational rhythm as long as the facility is operational, the researchers write, and the speakers will soon be easily visible also by ground-based telescopes.